It's a great way to start.
That's how you start it. Oos.
Welcome, guys.
To the cast.
Yeah. So, first episode of podcast yet to be named. And I think it's only apropos that we immediately ask you guys to do something for us.
Yes, we need answers.
We need answers on this thing.
Ideas.
What are we gonna name this?
Right now it's Sensei and W.A.D.E, W.A.D. and Sensei.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say. You see how you let off with the Sensei and W.A.D.E. I thought it was W.A.D. and the Sensei.
I gave both.
He's breached the contract. He's actually fired. So
this is the next fight. The next fight. That's what we're actually here to announce. We're going to be fighting on the next undercard.
Yeah, on the main event. I'm not an undercard guy.
Sure.
By the way, we're here at Creator Clash. It's a day before the fights. Fun stuff happening. You, listen, man, they bring me in 3 days before the action. I didn't even have nothing to do. I'm just in, you know what I'm saying? They bring me in, and this guy gets off the plane day before. He's all, what are we doing?
A couple hours ago,
Yeah,
just rolling in.
I'm telling you.
The same thing I do with my fights. Just kind of roll in, training, whatever, just roll in. Get the content, get in and get out.
That's how we do. Got the Happy Punch sweater on?
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. Keem hit me up. You know, we got a lot of the same people in our circle,
yeah.
You know, with FaZe and everything. So he reached out to me and wanted me to bring me on the team. And I just said, yes, I mean, it's good. I do content. We do content off the YouTube boxing community. It's a way for me to stay closer to a lot of the fighters and a lot of the guys. And since I'm looking for fights, sort of, right, looking for opportunities, it's just another person on my team that's out looking actively for opportunities for me.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're on the Twitter DMs talking. I get to talk with these guys. So I'm really hoping to collab with these guys and create some content with a lot of the fighters. Training, sparring.
Who you want to spar on Team Happy Punch first?
Salt Poppy, dude. We got to train. I met him
that
out.
Kid is, you met him,
I
too,
met him out there. So, and I'm a fan of him.
You know? How can you not be?
Dude, I love him. So
I just watching the lead-ups, I was like, this guy's so interesting. You know, he's doing and he's doing the salt and the whole thing. But then he gets in the ring and he's legitimately talented.
Committed to his character.
Like, fully committed.
Fully committed.
He was in a restaurant. We did the Instagram live with him and Ham. And this full crowded restaurant, he's in there throwing salt. I'm pretty sure people behind him, he's like throwing salt. It's just so good. I love it though. The kid is what we need in the YouTube boxing scene.
100%.
He's a character, and then when he steps in, the pull left hands straight down the pipe.
And entertaining.
Taunting him. Taunting him and giving him the, you know. So I agree. That's another guy.
I think like if we did a sparring video, that would like bang immediately.
100%.
That's something I would love to do.
That is a perfect idea. Sensei spars the Happy Punch roster. Pretty dope.
A lot of the guys, we're not gonna end up fighting, especially me.
Not on the same.
I'm on my last leg, so to speak. Right, I'm getting old, but I would love to go out there and train and spar.
I'm literally on my last leg. The blood clot. I'm dying. I'm going to die before this episode comes out.
Dude.
No, but that's dope. I think. Yeah, right. There you go. No, fuck it. No, I was gonna say. I think it would be such a cool idea, and to be able to get finally some footage on some of these guys, right?
I know.
The whole talent roster is just kind of laying in wait right now.
That's a thing now that's kind of been a bummer, to be honest, is that when this first came out, YouTube boxing, people were super down to do content and didn't care about posting. I'm like almost concerned that my sparring footage, like with KSI, whatever's on there might be the last of it. Because as these guys get more opportunities, and they're getting like serious opponents, and the stakes are getting higher. You have to be super like secretive with your prep. Like I spar with temper, and I don't know when we're gonna see that because that's something.
You guys filmed it though.
Yeah,
but they put it on ice for a reason. Obviously.
Yeah, of course, no, of course, and that makes sense, you know, especially since I'm so close to him. I also want to put it on ice, so. Any opportunity I can get to spar, because I love the content part of it. I love seeing the sparring. Everyone loves that. I like to see that. And so if guys are out there and willing to do it, you know, we'll hold it off until after the fight to post.
Of course.
But
I think there would be some guys I think JD on, I think he would be, like he's a content king, bro. He's killing the game right now. I think he would like legitimately be down to do that.
And I'm a nice guy. I ain't trying to do anything crazy. You know?
You're not trying to whip ass.
Shoot, my last two ones, I got beat up on my last two ones.
We were talking about it earlier, bro. It was those were, again, we've talked about it ad nauseum on my channel, on your channel, but those were interesting spars to say the least. But I'm excited, man. I'm really excited to see you step in if and when that ever happens again, because it seems like something's building up.
Like this.
Yeah, a little salt. Let's talk about, man, we're at Creator Clash, you know what I'm saying? I got to be honest, I'm nervous as fuck.
Yeah,
completely nervous.
You got like a job to do.
Yeah, no. So if you guys don't know like what goes into the behind the scenes of live production, neither do I, or at least I didn't until because I've done this. I've done it for like the NBA Summer League, and we'll talk about that in a second. I used to work like for the NBA in the Summer League running pipe. So I want to talk to you. No, I'm just like no. I used to run AV. So I would do behind-the-scenes stuff for, they do it in Vegas. They do it out at UNLV college basketball.
So you're a sandbagger is what you're saying, bro.
Basically, yeah.
Okay.
Basically,
so you've done some of this.
I've done some of it, but not to this level. So
yeah.
we got like what's called a run a show, right? They sent us a run a show. I don't even know if you got it, but Jim, we talked to downstairs, Jim.
Yeah, no.
He sent me a run a show. It's 20 pages for 9 fights. And the run a show basically is like, okay, we're going to go to graphic. Okay, go to backstage. Wait, and he's in my ear this whole time saying this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm like, all right, folks, welcome to Creator. Okay, we're going to go, so it's going to be, hopefully I do well for you guys. If not, you may see me and my channel disappear completely. So we'll see what happens.
I get to just sit there and just talk about what I'm seeing, so.
Hey, say what you see. That's the Joe Rogan mantra, right?
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Keep it simple.
Yeah.
I'm like on vacation.
How do you think it's going to go with Charlie, with Moist Critical? We've never met him.
No, I don't know.
He's a big time Twitch streamer.
Okay.
Have you ever watched any of his content?
No.
He's also.
And that's what I feel like for a lot of the creators here. I'm like,
yeah.
He's
also Penguins Zero on YouTube. He's another it's the same thing, but he's a massive YouTuber as well. Like he's killing it.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it for so long, and I'm like, God, he must be our age. Nope, he's 27, and we're both pushing 30. We're not pushing P, we're pushing 30.
Well, I'm 30.
Yeah, well,
I'm pushing 31.
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to be. And what's your birthday?
June 19th.
Oh, okay.
Same birthday as KSI, which is crazy.
Okay, you didn't have to flex that, but yeah, sure, whatever.
It's a dope day. It's a dope
but
day.
I thought, so yeah, we're both old as fuck, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, so we're doing this. It's very interesting. We just watched the weigh-ins, or the official weigh-ins. Coming out of that, Dr. Mike got a body on him.
I know. I'm interested. The main event, I feel like it's going to be more technical than people expect.
And let's just say we were privy to a little bit of sparring footage that we just saw from Ian. That's the first time we really seen anything from him. And pretty interesting.
It's kind of because he's been on ice and he's been training. And I feel like, I think he's going to be good.
You know what I think? I can put this out here officially here because I didn't want to do it on my main stuff, but whatever. I think we're going to get I think Ian's going to try to become like a little bit of a brawler, a little bit of a bruiser. I see it when we did the face-to-face. I'm looking at Mike, and Christian can tell you, Mike was like, very animated, high energy. And I don't know if it was like because, the fight's here or it's just like he was a little nervous, but Ian was almost giddy, like excited, but like goofy giddy. And anytime they talked about strategy, he was like, I don't know, I might become a little bit of a brawler. I don't know. He was like,
he looks game. He looks game.
I do think he's gonna have to deal with a little bit, right? Because Mike is a bit taller.
Yep.
I think he's gonna have to deal with a little bit more reach, and I think it's gonna depend on can Mike really keep his reach? Can Mike keep range? I don't know if that's the case at all yet.
Right. It's gonna
be
interesting.
It'll be. I think it'll turn into swinging and banging. At some point, I feel
like Ian has some of his sleeve. He has that quiet confidence about him.
I was gonna say he has been very coy. Him and his whole team has been very coy. But they're smiling about it, like we'll see.
He's got something.
It's gonna be interesting. I think what Mike has going for him is not only he's training with some, and not that Ian and those guys aren't, but Mike's training with some pretty good guys up in New York.
Yeah.
Some Golden Gloves guys, and he has Ryan. Someone apparently is dying, or there's a wrecking ball coming through the wall. I don't know what happened.
They're sparring upstairs.
I think Miley Cyrus is filming her next video right now outside. But yeah, no, it's gonna be an interesting main event. And then we had, there's so many creators. We had Odds One Out up here, 17 million subs on that guy's channel.
Dude, there's so many people here that I don't know or I've seen like once or twice.
You and I are in the same boat with that because Christian knows a lot of them, and I don't. So he came in, he sat down, great guys, James, great guy. Alex, I Did a Thing, big tall guy. I don't know if you met him yet, but.
Bruh.
I don't have no idea what's happened. They're getting a little sparring again. But they came in, sat down, and, just great guy, whatever. He leaves, and Christian's like, oh, that's the guy that has 20 million subscribers. I was like, what? Just a nice guy. But yeah, man, it's a wild shit. But we're in Tampa as well. Now, if you guys don't know, we kind of skipped this whole part of the podcast introduction and what we're actually going to be talking about because, of course, we fucking did.
Of course.
The main thing is because me and Sensei, when we turn these cameras on, and I've told you guys this on live stream, we just fucking go. Like, there's no script. There's no anything like that. We just start talking. So the podcast will be a variety of things, as we've already talked about. Happy Punch. We're here at Creator Clash. Someone apparently is being murdered downstairs. And then also other sports, you know. Sensei has unfortunately been bestowed as a Boston sports fan. I can't, you know, it is what it is. It's not that they win a bunch of championships or anything up there. Yeah, okay, there it is. But yeah, no, so he's a big Boston sports fan. I'm actually a big college football fan. University of Tennessee, I bleed orange. We haven't won anything in 19 years, but I'm still hanging in there.
This is a Southern thing. Like college sports, football is obviously big in the country, but
massive
like
in the South.
Southerners, because football for up here is not huge.
And by the way, Sensei plays football right now.
I do, and I'm still disappointed that they didn't get me on the roster of the second game. They wanted me on the first roster for the FaZe versus AMG.
Yeah, for the FaZe game,
for the flag game.
Get me in. Like, I played college football. I played receiver. This guy still plays quarterback. This is a connection. Y'all don't want it. Like,
had 22 tutties last year on the season. Made the All-Star team.
Oh shit. How's that work?
It's semi-pro. I'm like, I don't know, guys. Okay, it's nothing crazy.
But it's still though.
But it's dude. I got some highlights. Guys. It's 30 goals. It's amazing. I love it.
If Brett Favre is throwing picks in the FaZe game, I think you can handle it. You know what I'm saying?
He threw like a handful of them. No.
In his Wrangler jeans coming out with his copper tone or whatever.
True, far. But I also play flag, so I can dip. I can move.
Yeah.
I can pull flags.
Listen, FaZe Clan, get me. Sensei first, but get me up there receiver.
We played them again, and we lost again, and we had destroying. I hit D up. I said, D, you just need one more guy.
But D's good.
He is good.
He can play.
We just need one more.
But let's be honest.
I know.
D a kicker. You know what I'm saying?
But they had Duke.
Duke too. Duke can play.
AMG's a problem.
Well, they got a bunch of guys though. It ain't just Duke.
I know they do. I just want to play them.
You want that smoke. You want that revenge.
Yes.
Next one. Get us out there, man. But yeah, that's kind of what this podcast is going to be. It's going to be sports related. Obviously big fight related. We're going to talk UFC stuff. We're going to talk boxing. We're going to talk, just the YouTube scene, stuff that I maybe can't tell you on my channel or just don't have the time to fill with it. And Sensei can't necessarily go into on his channel too much.
But there's a lot of little things that have happened over the years that like I'm never gonna make a video about.
Yeah.
That never comes up. That we've even just like discussed.
We were just been talking like about your like I would love to talk about it. We were talking about how you got like into the YouTube scene more so than we got to on the interview and like how you were telling me like Tommy was posting like the 2 mil montage and shit.
Posting the FaZe 2 mil montage.
Yeah.
I don't even know what FaZe is at the time.
Yeah.
And we're just playing 2K together, and he won't come out to play.
When was this? It's like 2000.
Oh, dude, this has got to be 2012.
Yeah,
maybe that's right. Yeah, it's around 2012.
So you're in there. You're trying to get him to play a game of 2K. You're like,
bro, it's been an hour.
What are you doing in this room with this little video? That you're doing? Get it
together.
Let's go and play 2K.
Dude, and I love 2K. That's like my game. So. And then I find out. Then he tells me what FaZe is. Yeah. And I'm like, what? And then next thing you know, 8 months later or whatever, I'm living in the FaZe house in New York. Mad. Fast forward 3 years, KSI's in my Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
We're training. Now fast forward,
we're at
the Creator Clash.
This is mad. It's mad stories. Like, not only like your come up, but I don't even call mine a come up, but just being able to, from a year to 2 years ago, I don't know if you know this. And I'm going to tell most of the people that you're going to go find this channel and be like, Wade, what the fuck were you doing? So I worked with a channel before I started. Well, I mean, I had my channel, but I was doing like this is not like it shouldn't be funny, but it shows where I was. I was doing like two views, 3 views a video.
Oh, let's go, dude! From the bottom, from the bottom. Dude.
I would do live streams where there was like 2 people in the live stream, and one of them will be me on a separate computer, making sure the live stream didn't like crash. But again, I love that part of the story.
I appreciate that so much because for me, I always have like this. Like super modest personality.
Yeah.
But the reason is because I came onto the scene with guys who are already big.
Yeah.
So a lot of my, glory to fame has been by association.
Right.
So to see like that your grind came from like 2 views on a live stream.
Oh, bro.
And then
I used to do the whole so when Bisping got knocked out by Kelvin Gastelum in China.
Okay.
I was like in the middle of that. I woke up at like 2 a.m. thinking, oh, bro, no one's going to be covering this. I'm about to do crazy views. I did the entire, from the, not the official prelims that they put on ESPN or whatever, from the early prelims. And I would do that. I would do 8-hour streams from the early prelims and commentate the entire card.
Wow.
And talk about, you know.
Where is this content?
It's on my channel. I never, it's on there. So you can, people are like, why would, someone even was in my comment section like, why do you leave this up? And I was like, to show you guys that I'm just a normal dude and you guys can do it too.
We're going to have to use that as clips too. We're going to have to clip the old stuff. Bro, even my old stuff too. That's going to be a thing.
There was clips. I was living in Orlando, so I was living in Florida. There's clips of me. I had this fucking curtain that I would pull back. It was like a black curtain, and I would have my picks on a dry board, and there would be hooks on fishing line hanging from the ceiling to hold this like a dry erase board for my picks. When Francis knocked out Overeem, way back, like 2018, when he knocked out Alistair and sent him to the moon, big shovel hook, sent him, flew back. I'm sitting there with my arm in a sling from the torn bicep, commentating this thing, 7-hour live streams.
Dude, 7-hour live stream?
I would just commentate every single fight. And it would be like one guy in my comment section. Shout out to, I think his name was Kyle. Shout out to Kyle.
Just you and Kyle.
Just me and Kyle.
Shout out to Kyle.
He'll know.
We need to get Kyle on the pod.
Kyle needs to get I don't want to say his last name, but I know it too. Kyle, if you're out there, bro, you kept me going, my guy. So yeah, it was.
That's the thing. That grind is crazy because when I came into the scene, completely different. I realized what phase was.
Yeah.
And I was doing what I do now as a martial arts instructor.
Yeah.
So for me to be able to like take that opportunity, right? I can go, oh, I can take what I do and reach a giant audience because the audience is already there.
Yeah.
And then build on it.
Yeah.
But you're just out there, you and Kyle, dude.
Me and Kyle just took the game over. When you're talking about Tiger Belly, I want to talk about this. So there's like a big controversy going on with, Brendan Schaub right now. The Trug walk and other things that are happening. So, but the reason I say that, one, I'm a big fan of Tiger Belly. Love the podcast.
Yeah.
And two, I have a little bit of a Brendan Schaub story. It's not even like a big story. It's not. I probably over-exaggerate it to a degree.
Yeah.
I met Schaub one time. I was in LA. Bro, I used to go to LA. It's another part of my backstory. I used to go to LA and just throw resumes around everywhere. I used to go to Hulu. I would slide the resume under the door. I would slide my resume under the door at Fox Sports because they'd be like,
trenches. This man is in the trenches.
Bro,
I love that.
I had a stick shift car. Right, so I'm going 60 miles from Orange County to Los Angeles, and I'm in my stick shift Ford Escape. I'm sitting on the clutch in between traffic, punching my fucking steering wheel, being like, "What am I doing with my life? Like, this is no AC in the car, like,
damn,
whatever." And by the way, that's first world. Like, oh no, AC in the car. I got a fucking
but still.
But I would go, and one of these days, I was like, I'm gonna go to Showtime. So this all happened in the same day. I went to LMU, which is Lincoln Memorial University, I think, in Los Angeles. And I posed as a student because they were having, I found out online that they were having Showtime internship interviews.
Okay.
So I rolled up and I was like, he's like, oh, are you here for I was like, yeah, I'm a student. He goes, where's your ID? I was like, forgot it. He's like, oh, okay, no, whatever. And I got in, did the interview, or did the little internship interview. Oh, what are you studying? And I was like, oh, journalism here. And they're like, oh, do you have your, and finally they were like, oh, the gig's up. You don't go to school here.
Yeah.
They're like, sorry, no internship. And I was all down in the dumps. I was like, fuck. So I go to a Whole Foods, like, somewhat near it. I see good old Schaub, Brendan Schaub, right? And, I'd seen him from, Fighter and the Kid, and I'd seen him on Joe Rogan's Fight Companions, and obviously, I was familiar.
Yeah.
And I knew he was looking for someone at the time. This is like 2017 he was just about to start Below the Belt with Showtime.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, bro, let me go get my resume. And I go and get it, right? And I come back out, and Schaub comes out with his producer. I'm not going to say the guy's name, but I know his name, and I know what you said to me. But I had a suit on, and I've served, I was like, yo, Brendan, and I gave him a piece of paper. I was like, my name's W.A.D.E. Plemons. I'd like to interview with you. He's like, he put his hands back. He's like, whoa. And his producer stepped in. He's like, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's just a resume. I was trying to, He was like, oh, he thought you were serving him, like court papers. And I was like, all right, well, no, I'm not.
Whoa.
Yeah, hold on.
That's weird.
But anyway, they talked to me for a bit. They were super nice. But this is the thing, and this is the kind of where the story ends. I watched Brendan Schaub take my resume, like, oh, what do you do? And I was telling him, and they walk away, and he goes inside. I think he thought he was out of view from me. Takes my resume, wads it up, throws it in the trash. And I was like, okay. It hurt, bro. It hurt because at that time I looked up to Shab and those guys and be like, man, this is like my opportunity, and that hurt. And I was like, and in my head I planted. And again, it's not. If he watches, like, of course he didn't mean anything by it. He was
right.
Of course, he's doing stuff, you know. Like I get it. And by the way I rolled up on him, probably not the best way either. Like, hey, take my resume.
Yeah.
But in my head I was like, oh, I'm gonna come and take that spot anyway. And so it's funny, like now that he has, and they're killing it doing their thing or whatever. But now that I've been in the YouTube space, it's silly now to think about it and be like, oh, I hold a grudge against this.
But in those kind of times, exactly, those kind of times that you're in, something like that is important actually, because you need something. To keep it going. It can't be all sunshine and rainbows.
And by
the
way, he was a super nice guy to me, but it's crazy with all this controversy coming out. What's going on with him and Bobby Lee?
What's the girl's name again?
Kaylani, I think. Not Kaylani. Is it Kaylani?
I don't know.
I don't know her name, but it's Bobby's girl.
Kaylani. Yeah, I don't know the name.
And apparently, something.
I watched some TikToks.
Yeah, something.
The tea is hot, dude.
The tea is hot, bro. And I feel bad for Bobby, man.
That's like consensus right now.
Yeah, like he's the one that's caught in it, and he really didn't do anything, and he's like kind of behind the scenes. Apparently, some things are.
I know, it's just super.
Shout out to Bobby, man.
I know.
That if you ever watch this, but shout
out. Dude, it's tough. Open relationship type stuff, dude.
That's the stuff that'll get you. I can't do that. I know it's like a new. I don't know if it's even a new thing, but I know
it's not a new
popular
thing.
Right
Look
now.
up human history like Rome. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, yeah, for sure.
It's like definitely not a new thing. I mean.
I feel like it's got a new wave though. Like it's a big people, especially
it's more
over
acceptable
in California,
now.
People are doing that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
It's more acceptable now.
Yeah.
I feel like especially people in that community, because it's so accessible. I remember like Tiger Woods. Someone was talking about Tiger Woods, and it was like, well, you're not Tiger Woods. It was a comedian. I forget the bit, but there was like Tiger Woods is dealing with this all the time, whereas like. You may have a girl in your DMs like once in a while, whereas like every day, and
hour,
it's crazy. Yeah. So people who live in that scene, you know, in that community, may be like, you know what, let's just this is what we agreed to.
And they're intermingling too. They're podcast sharing. They meet each other. They're probably hanging out. You know.
But Bobby, dude, if you saw,
such a nice
he
guy,
was.
Bro.
He said that he wasn't comfortable with it. So it was something that they did do.
And he wasn't on board with it.
No, he's not. He wasn't happy about it. So that's just it's so uncomfortable.
And you can see when he talks about it too. He's just like he doesn't want to say it. Like he's afraid to talk about it. Like.
I know you just know everyone watching is going.
Yeah, everybody. That's not Bobby. Like you're watching Bobby and going. But everybody else is like, oh yeah, let's talk about it. Bobby's like, oh, I don't want to. But hey, man, chalk it up.
Makes for great podcast content.
I was gonna say they're doing their thing with it. Fair play. But yeah, like I was. You're talking about Tiger Woods. Not only like I wanted to ask you who were Tom Brady, obviously, but who were like some of your big sports like heroes. Take Tom out of it because I know Tom's the
yes, no, of course. But Tom is even later. I won't even include Tom because that was after.
Yeah.
I'm going to only include people that I grew up that got me to love the sports that I play. Number 1, TD, Terrell Davis.
Really?
I grew up, I was a diehard Bronco fan.
Yeah, okay.
Before I was a Patriots guy.
Okay.
Just a little kid. I think I saw like it.
That was during that. Smith.
That was during that time they did well. They were doing well. So I think it was just
supers.
Action figures or things that they had the little things that when I was growing up, they just had that stuff out there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a running back growing up. So Terrell Davis was number 1.
That's crazy.
Then after that, it switched to Marshall Falk.
So you're a running back guy.
He's my favorite football player of all time.
Drafted with the Colts. Yes. Played a year with Peyton, I think. The
year that they won.
Did they trade him early when he went to the Rams? How did that work?
Yes, it was early. I forget what it was for. I forget how it happened, but it was super early.
But then the greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf. So I started to really get into football that year, and then when they won that Super Bowl, like the top thing on my Christmas list was getting that VHS that would show you the whole season, and I used to watch that thing, like I know that like that whole year, like the back of my hand.
About being a Tennessee sports fan. The greatest show on turf. Tennessee gets an expansion team. The Houston Oilers become the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, yes.
Greatest show on turf in the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Steve McNair,
dude.
The drive. Steve McNair's leading down the field. Kevin Dyson catches the ball.
It was Dyson, yep.
On the 1-yard line, reaches out a yard short. That's the epitome of Tennessee sports, bro. We can't win it. I'm going to go on. We can't win anything. I love my state, though. But yeah.
After Falk, it's Vic, and I got to meet him.
Oh, you got to meet Michael Vick
at the the face versus AMG.
Oh, yeah.
I'm standing there.
That's mad.
It was one of those things like super starstruck. I tried to act super cool. I didn't even get a picture with him. I couldn't ask him.
You didn't? No,
I couldn't do it.
Did you talk to him though?
Yes. Okay. So because I was on the face side and we're back. Tommy's getting his gear.
Yeah.
So we're not like in like a fan area. We're like with everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm just standing there, and all of a sudden I hear a voice, and next to me is Michael Vick.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey," but like we're like supposed to like essentially all be playing, sort of. So I'm just trying to act like one of the guys there, you know. Yeah. And I'm like, and then we start. Then he's talking about the footballs because it was like it was brand new, wasn't broken in. So then we have like a little sort of conversation about like, I was even saying I was a quarterback, but just about like having too much air. Yeah. And then Brett came in, and then I have like this little conversation that was like maybe 5 words.
Brett, Mike Vick.
And I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to ruin.
Can't.
I didn't want to like it be like, oh yeah, in a sec, or can we get it after? Mm-hmm. The potential of that even happening, because I loved that moment and it was so genuine. I was like, waste it. Yeah. I'm good.
Honestly, best way to go about it, low-key.
Yep.
So those 3 are your guys.
Yep, and then basketball.
Okay.
So those are my guys. And then basketball was Iverson and T-Mac.
T-Mac.
Those 2 guys in the very beginning, I used to wear T-Macs to school. Like,
T-Mac has crazy potential, bro.
Yeah.
Like you those hear anybody talk about T-Mac in his Raptor days and when he went to the Magic, like, unguardable.
And then D-Wade.
D-Wade when he was at Marquette. Bro.
Yep.
It was so funny. I'll tell you a D-Wade story. When I was like, we were young when he was at Marquette. We were like 10, 11, because it was the Final Four with him and Carmelo, right? When Carmelo played at Syracuse. Mm-hmm. And D-Wade played for Marquette, and his name was Wade. Mm-hmm. And I remember watching him in the tournament.
I didn't even think of that stuff right now.
Yeah, I remember watching him in the tournament and being, I'm rooting for him. I'd never heard of Marquette, never heard of that school, didn't know what it was, but I'm watching this guy, Golden Eagles. He's up with the lays, because he was super aggressive. He wasn't a jump shot guy back then. He was really aggressive, good defender too. I remember watching him throughout the tournament, and I fell in love with the kid. So immediately, like when he went to the Heat, it was GG from there. But okay.
Yeah, and then the last dude is Steph. When I was playing in high school. Yeah. When Steph was at Davidson. Yeah. And I was super like. Once I saw him play, undersized guy, and as a guard,
that run he went on in the tourney.
I was a fan of him when he was at Davidson. Yeah. And we go on vacation as a family. We're in Charlotte. Mm-hmm. The teams are on flight transfers. I don't know what it is. So I'm in with my family, and all of a sudden I see Hakeem Tabit when he was at UConn, and I go, what's he doing here? And all of a sudden I'm looking around, there's other basketball players here. Yeah. And I think I'm a sophomore in high school, trying to make my JV team. And I'm like, okay, then I'm about to get on the plane, like we're in line. Mm-hmm. And the dude's standing next to me with a hoodie on, headphones on, and then I peek, and it's Steph Curry. So I'm like this, I'm looking at him like just like this. And he looks at me and he kind of smiles, takes his stuff off, nods.
He knew, yeah.
Fist bump me.
Oh, shot.
And I'm like, and I looked to my family, and it was the most disappointing thing in my entire life. Because I know that they did not know who Steph was. So I start tweaking. I just met Steph Curry, like, who's Steph Curry? I'm like, I don't think you understand. This kid's like, he's a nasty shooter. Yeah. He's so nasty. And there's just no one there to appreciate this moment. I'm like, dude, I don't think you guys understand. And then when Steph gets the MVP, I'm like, Dad, remember that guy? Yeah. This is the guy I was telling you about.
Unbelievable.
So those are my guys.
But yeah, okay, so those are your guys.
Oof.
I'm trying to think sports heroes for me, man.
Yeah.
Fuck. When I was growing up, obviously Peyton Manning was the guy for Tennessee. Like he was our rider guy. By the way, Charles Woodson, I know you're a Hall of Fame guy. I love you to death. I think you're a great defender, but fuck you for the 1997 Heisman Trophy. That was Peyton Manning's Heisman Trophy, bro. Tennessee, again, we can't win anything, but I'm a die-hard Tennessee fan. Like, I will cry over losses at 30 years old. I will cry. It's just the way it is, man.
It's a Southern thing.
But that's the thing. Like, a lot of my heroes were college athletes because that's what we watched. Like, Eric Crouch at Nebraska when he was running the offense for that 2003 Nebraska team. Loved him. This white guy just bowed him up. I was like, that's Michael Vick, but for Nebraska, you know? And when Michael Vick was at Virginia Tech, when I was watching him play at Virginia Tech, I was like, oh my. And that's what made me fall, like, who is this guy? And the same thing with you. But
lefty.
Yeah, and he was a lefty and he could run. But yeah, so I guess my big ones, obviously I was a Kobe fan, but when LeBron came into the league, it was something different, man. I was like, who is, because, I used to wake up like 6 a.m. my mom would take me to one of my teachers' houses so I could go to school because my mom was working like 2 jobs, whatever. So she would take me to we lived next to one of my teachers. She would just drop me off like 5 a.m. I'd just like go lay down on the couch and like wait for school.
Wow.
But when I was waiting, I would watch highlights of the night before from SportsCenter.
Yeah.
And this was when LeBron was at St. Mary, St. Vincent's.
Yeah.
He had the Hummer controversy.
That was so big.
Yeah,
man.
when he had the silver Hummer, like who gave him this? What's going on? And then he played his first game in Sacramento against the Kings. He had like, check my stat line to see if I'm right. This is how big of a LeBron fan I am. I think he had 25, 7 and 7.
I know he had 25.
25, 8 and 7 or 7 and 7, one of the two. And it was like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, this kid is for real. And just watching him throughout the years when he would just some of the stuff he did, he was like a big hero of mine. I met him, semi.
Oh, dope.
So when I went to NBA Summer League, this is a good story.
That's right. I forgot he was in Summer League.
He was down there because this was his first year with the Lakers. It was going to be, right? Because he had just got free agent. He just signed with the Lakers as, like it was 2018 or whatever, 2019. So he was just coming in to play with the Lakers.
Oh, yes.
So he was coming down to evaluate talent. You know, A.D. was there too, whatever.
Oh, dope.
And so one morning, we used to get there like 4 a.m., right? When I was working, again, I was doing AV, I was running cable, like just doing whatever I was asked to do because I was an intern. I was like, and it was funny, I was an intern at 26, and most of the interns there were 19, 18. Mike Breen's son, Mike Breen, bang!
Yeah.
His son was there, and we also used to fuck with him anytime he did anything. Breen, from the corner, bang! He would be like, shut the fuck up. He would hate it.
I would not expect this. The way he's just running cables, dude.
Yeah. Oh, dude. They would send us under the bleachers.
A couple of years ago.
I met Francis. We'll talk about it, but I met Francis Ngannou because he was there. He was invited as a guest to the Pelicans. So, long story short, I'll tell you the LeBron story, and then I'll tell you what happened with Francis. So, we walked in every day. We would do like 14-hour days. We'd be at 4 a.m. because we had to be there to help. Like basically, we were feeding cable to ESPN.
Okay.
So we were running the in-house production. So all I was doing was running cable, making sure the TVs were on. I wasn't doing a lot, but it felt like a lot at that time. So we get there 4 a.m. and we get in, and UNLV is supposed to be closed off. We're supposed to be the first people in it, but we hear music, boom, 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 like I don't know what song it was, but I couldn't remember. Just crazy, this beat, and I'm like, no one's supposed to have access to the. And of course, me, Poindexter. No one's supposed to have access. Why is someone, act like like someone gives a fuck what I think. But I'm in there like, and I'm walking, and the way their UNLV's, just like most college basketball, it's built into a bowl. So you have to walk down to get to the floor.
Yeah.
We walk over, lights are on. I was like, oh, something's going on. We see this guy dribbling, 4 or 5 coaches, with those arm pads that they'll be wearing.
Yeah.
Boom, into the post, boom, hook, boom, into reverse dunk, boom, step back, fade. And I'm like, who is that? And I see the pads are purple. And I said this on stream one time. You know those cartoons where like there's a pie on the seal and like the cartoon's floating because he smells it?
Yeah.
I recognized it was LeBron. This is when I had good eyesight. I'm fucking blind now. But I recognized it was LeBron and I started floating. And I could hear my boss going, we're not supposed to go down there. No, don't go down there. Fuck it. I'll get fired at this point. That's LeBron James, bro.
Whatever.
He's like, wait. And I'm like, nah. So I walk down there acting like I'm doing something. Like, oh, I got to act like I'm working. The ball, it's fate, bro. The ball rolls to me. You know what I'm saying? As he's doing his shit, and he looks over and throws his hands up, and I was like,
"That's
hey, LeBron."
dope. That's
he was like,
dope.
He was like, "Hey, appreciate you," and just got back to his work. They never meet your hero stories.
Yeah.
That's the one time, 4 a.m., pouring sweat, he would do his back and forths, like he would go boom, run the court, boom, and they put him on the free throw line, he'd be shooting. The best time to meet your hero was like watching him grind
when he's
no
working.
One else is awake.
That's so dope because
it's
it's not just like the usual fan experience.
Yeah. But
who would have thought? And you met him like running cables.
Just running cables, just being there, like doing my little thing. 26 years old, when the job probably could have been done by like a 16-year-old, but they were like, all right, this kid won't leave us alone. I'll tell the story about how I got that job one day. Another one of those, W.A.D.E walks into the company like he owns it. Hey, who's here? I need the resume, But I met Francis Ngannou there too. And so I was running cable. We used to have to go under the bleachers. And, most entrances, they come through the bleachers.
Yeah.
The entranceway was there, and Francis walked out, and I was running cable, and I was starstruck because I'm not usually with like most people, but it's Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, 6'5", 260, whatever. And this was what was crazy. I'll tell you how I met him, but he walked by, and then Zion Williamson walked by, and Zion looked like his older brother.
See, that's
6'9".
Dude, the thing about basketball players, dude, that's crazy.
It was like and they stood beside each other, and I'm thinking Francis Ngannou, he's a monster, a killer, and he looked like Zion could pat him on his head. I was like, So anyway, after the game, I see him in the hallway. I don't know what possessed me, by the way. Don't do this. If you see a UFC fighter, if you see a fighter in general, or just your favorite athlete, probably don't do this. He walks by me, and I was like, fuck it, one opportunity. And we weren't allowed to take pictures of him or anything because I'm working.
Yeah.
So I walk over to him, and you know how some people, like Joe Rogan describes Dan Henderson as being made of wood when he grabs him?
Yes.
Same thing happened to me. I walk up behind Francis, give him the old slap on the back like I'm somebody, and my hand sinks into his back. Like there was the crevice where your spine is between like your thorax just sinks in. I was like, okay, my hand's gone. But he turns around and he was like, I was like, Francis, this is after he fought Stipe the first time. But before he had gone on a little bit of a streak. I was like, Francis, you're future champ, bro. Like, it's coming back to you. I was like, Stipe got lucky, whatever, saying whatever. Yeah. Because I am a big fan of Francis. He was like, oh, thank you so much. But he grabbed me. Not like he meaning to, but he grabbed me. And when he went to shake my hand, he shook my wrist. And I felt like...
Grabbed everything.
Exactly. Like he almost Gable gripped me, And I was like, oh, I'm going to be Loki in the Avengers movie now. And he's just going to, swing me around. But he was so nice. And, he was just a big guy, but super nice. Francis was really nice to me.
There's a clip of him picking up Shaq.
Yeah. Gable grip and just like it was nothing. And Shaq was like, oh, I've never been picked up before.
Nothing like heavyweights.
It's crazy, bro. But yeah, that's, I would say, I don't know, LeBron, football-wise, I was... God, Peyton was obviously a big one of mine. I'm big fan of receivers, though. Jerry Rice, massive, because I wanted to be that, I was a big fan of Randy Moss, obviously. And then on the basketball side, LeBron, Kobe. The current generation, I'm a big Jimmy Butler fan, big Jason Tatum fan. I know that's your boy. He struggled last night. We got a game tonight, by the way. Sensei and I might put some money on it. Game 6. I don't
want to talk about Boston right now.
Down 3-2. We'll see what happens, but...
When I was watching that game, I was like, you guys deserve to lose.
Yeah. The way they blew it, Game 5. And that's that's another thing we'll be doing on the podcast, man. Current sports, we're going to be talking about. We'll have that as a topic. Today was more of just like because we just met like in person today.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so crazy.
Like, chemistry, you couldn't learn this in a college, bro. Like... Chemistry on point, bro. I failed chemistry in college, so this is great that I'm passing this,
You know what's going to be funny? We're going to have to save it, but we're going to have to do, I don't know where you fall on it, but the Jordan-LeBron debate.
We'll do a full podcast debated too. Yeah, I think that'd be dope because I have some, I know I'm going to set you off because I'm such a LeBron guy. We don't talk about it yet, though. We don't talk about it yet. You know what? We're going to shout out Jasper. You know what Jasper told me? He goes, don't ever bring up Jordan. He's like, Sensei will go for 3 hours. Don't do it. We'll talk about it. We'll do a full podcast
and the thing
dedicated.
Is, I'll just say this. I love LeBron. I'm not a LeBron hater.
There we go.
I'm not a LeBron hater. But I grew up a Boston Celtics fan.
Yeah.
So obviously I was always rooting against LeBron.
Yeah.
And I grew up a Wade fan before I was a LeBron fan.
See that? Another Wade fan. How about that?
So, exactly. So they were the guys who I rooted for on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So when LeBron came in, and then LeBron ruined the Miami Heat for me because I used to use Miami on 2K because I liked Wade before they were Miami.
Before they were God Squad.
And then when Miami went there, everyone's like, you're just using Miami. I'm like, just take LeBron off the team. I wanted because I wanted to play with Wade. So and then Steph was my other. I used to use Steph on the Warriors.
Before KD.
With Monte, before even
Clay, the Splash Brothers,
Before then on like 2K. And then KD had ruined that for me.
It's over, bro. But yeah, we'll get into like all those topics and more, man. Listen, we don't have a name for this thing, and I think we'll wrap it up just because our cameras died 3 times. Live a little behind the scenes. I actually put the camera in the fridge because it overheated.
That's not a lie. That's the truth.
That's logic, right? Your camera overheats, you cool it down, put it in the fridge, pop it in the microwave. That's what we do. But yeah, episode 1 of Complete Randomness. Wade and the Sensei, definitely the name, starting with me, Sensei after, because of course, or Sensei and Wade, whatever you want to call it. Episode 2, coming real soon. Maybe after the fights, maybe.
Yes.
With the winner of the fights, we'll see. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the sub button, like the video, share the video, and more coming soon, man.
100%.
All right, we're out.
Oos.